gets to drive the 13 mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Tony Peters, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing. Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Oh,
I hear you.
I'd like to welcome everybody to Let's Talk Racing this evening. We have Tommy Tacy, myself, and already on the line we have Joey Meier, spotter for Brad Keselowski. I think he did something this weekend good. What was it, Joey?
We ran a truck in Iowa and did really good. I think that might be what you're referring to. But then we were forced to also run a little race in Chicago on Sunday and fared pretty well in that one as well.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, how did he do? Refresh me. How good did he do in the trucks?
Well, Ryan Blaney ran the 3rd truck of his career.
That's right.
And became the youngest winner in the series, just a little over 18 years old.
I tell you what, they keep throwing them out there. What was it, when Trevor Bain won the Daytona 500, he became the youngest?
Yes, yep. It's good for the industry to have some young drivers coming in. As the older drivers are starting to hang up their helmets for a while, and the young kids are able to take hold of the steering wheel and make things happen for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen and talked to, even on the show here, because we get a lot of young kids in here, 12 and 13 years old, that are out there in the traveling series racing in late models, and I tell you.
Yeah, BKR's got, we run 3 late models with in 2 different series, and one of the kids actually all 3 of them have done really well this year, picking up some wins and doing really well in the points in the past series. And then some of the bigger races that Austin runs in. He's actually going to run a Can-Am car for Go Green Racing this weekend in Loudon. He's looking forward to that. It was some kind of series in late models that he ended up winning, and they were offered the ride in this Can-Am car, so he's kind of excited about that.
That's what, Archie St. Hilaire has that group?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I've talked to him a couple of times too. He's a nice guy.
I'm looking forward to hopefully getting a spot for him at Loudon.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, for those that don't know who and all the good stuff you do, why don't you do a little brief resume so new listeners can find out something about you?
Yeah. Been spotting for Brad Keselowski this is my 3rd year. Did 13 years of spotting over at DEI for just about every driver on and off during the duration. And my main job that allows me to get into racing is actually I'm a pilot, and I flew for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, again for 13 years, and then now I'm flying for Brad. So the transportation to and from the track, it works out pretty well, and I'm there, already, and then it allows me to be at the racetrack and spot for Brad.
Okay, you are going to Martinsville, right?
I'll be at Martinsville, yep. Well, actually, Martinsville is one of the few tracks that we drive to, but yeah, I'll be up there.
All right, because I plan on being out at Martinsville, and hopefully this time, as many tracks we've been at and never get a chance to go by and see each other.
Yeah, we actually have a bowling tournament in most of the Martinsville races we go to, and so probably have a bowling tournament there. There's weekends there are usually pretty busy. Normally the trucks are there, and we have a race on Saturday, and it's a good little weekend.
Huh. Well, tell me more about the bowling tournament there, because I used to be a very avid bowler.
Right. Well, normally it's the bowling tournament is between all of NASCAR. A bunch of NASCAR teams get together, and it's a relatively small house up there in Martinsville. It's probably 18 lanes, and we usually fill the place up and allow the fans to come in and kind of mingle amongst everybody. And the NASCAR officials have 2 or 3 teams. And it's usually a good time. We do it probably twice, 2 or 3 different times a year. We definitely do it at every Martinsville race, and then sometimes we pick up, another house like Dover or Kansas sometime during the year.
I'll have to talk to some friends of mine in the officials team. Maybe slide in and become a ringer.
I hear you. Whatever it takes.
Oh God, back quite a few years ago, I used to keep around the 200s.
Very good. Yep.
But anywho,
Yep.
So
bowling was one of my. I was actually thought I'd be a professional bowler when I was younger, and just didn't have the money, so I became a pilot instead, which is kind of ironic because I still didn't have the money to do either.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think it costs a little more to become a pilot than it does to become a professional bowler.
Well, I mean, bowling to be good once you get past regionals, touring regionals. It requires a sponsor too, a lot like racing. So when you go from late model racing and try to go into a touring series, you're looking for a sponsor, whether it's for residency or driving your camper around or gas or hotel bills, and it has a lot of parallels, with racing, other than the number of people involved. Bowling, you might have yourself and your significant other. But with racing, it requires a number of people, 5, 6, 7 people to travel. So, But they have a lot of parallels together, and again, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, it's I'm familiar with the racing side, definitely.
Right. Yep.
Trying to help somebody now to set up a nationwide deal for next year.
Yeah, it just takes money. That just depends on how fast you want to go, how much money you're going to spend, or.
I'm still trying to find that money tree so I can plan it out back.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting industry in the fact that we offer, from an exposure standpoint, versus money. If you can get on TV and be in one of the 3 big series, it's a good investment from somebody that needs advertising. I don't want to try to be a salesman, but from what the industry offers for the number of minutes that you're on TV, if you can be associated with a decent team. It's a really good investment. That's the drawback or the advantage that we have is that if you can be on TV, with a decent race team, it is a good investment. Relative to, and I get in this argument all the time, but I mean the Super Bowl, you're talking $3.5 million for a 30-second slot.
Right.
Well, that's a full year of truck racing.
Yeah.
$3.5, $4 million. So. Again, you're talking so many different more markets. It's a good argument to have, but NASCAR offers people some good opportunities, and there's still some very big companies that find it very advantageous, to use the NASCAR industry as a marketing tool. Unfortunately, some teams, some companies don't find it advantageous, but you look at the companies that are out there, they obviously have a boardroom and people sitting around discussing how much they're going to spend on advertising, and still find it very lucrative to spend money with NASCAR.
Yeah. There are so many facets to the sponsorships as to what they're going to get in return. And it used to be it was great, we're going to be on a race car, and this is when everybody had money, and we're going to be on TV and all this other stuff, and they were really hyped up about that. Nowadays, it's what am I going to get in return for this money?
Right. Well, I mean, part of the sponsorship, they have to be involved with activating the sponsorship, and some teams don't, or some sponsors don't do that very well. Shell Pennzoil, which came on with Penske Racing this year, their activation was amazing. And other companies don't activate, and that's where they're not utilizing. It's still up to them. We can get you on TV. But you have to take the necessary steps to activate your sponsorship to make it, it's like planting grass seed. That's really, if I were to explain it, we can go out and plant grass seed, which is getting the money from the sponsorship to get involved. But unless you add water and the nutrients in the soil and everything else, those grass seeds aren't going to grow. So even though you spent the money on planting grass, you still have to activate it, and that's some of the sponsors do a very good job of that.
Yeah, I've run into some people and sponsors that they go out and they say, okay, good, I want to be on a nationwide car. Okay, get them hooked up. They do their contract and everything else, and then they sit there and say, okay, where's all my new business?
Yeah.
And I sat there and I tried to tell them, I said, you have to do more than just put your name on the car. You have to have a business plan in effect for this whole thing you're going to do.
Yeah.
You can't go and put $250,000 into a car and, for 2 or 3 months worth of racing and expect that everybody's going to call you from seeing you on TV. You have to be out at the tracks that they're racing at, handing out stuff, doing stuff on the internet, doing stuff on social media.
Yeah, that's one of the things, unfortunately some of these businesses are doing a poor job on, is taking advantage of social media. Considering it's between Facebook and Twitter, it's basically free. It just takes time. Obviously, people's time is money. I get that, but the entity itself is free and definitely not being utilized to its fullest by some of these companies. And some companies are doing a heck of a job of it. But yeah, it definitely needs to be activated.
Yeah, and like I said, after he was done, and then he's sitting there saying, well, don't have any new business. I said, well, did you do the other stuff we told you need to do? Well, no, I just figured it all come from this. Okay, here's your sign. About what I feel like on that. You know how that is.
So, anyway, that's about it.
Okay.
Yep.
What else? What are we going to be looking for from you guys?
Well, we got one race down, 9 races to go. Some of the tracks, statistically, I love statistics because all it can show you is what you've done in the past. It doesn't mean what you're going to do in the future.
Right.
When you have good statistics, everybody likes to show them. But when you have bad statistics, you just kind of throw them out. Brad has shown over the last 2 years, we struggled in 2010. No doubt about it. And so that drags your averages down. It drags your statistics down. But we're going to some tracks that we feel like we've run pretty good at. Loudon, Phoenix, Texas, Talladega, Homestead. We've run good at these tracks. Now it's just a matter of putting it together, this year. What people fail to realize, and they look at how weak we ran. We were in the top 5, top 3 in the chase, top 4 in the chase last year for the first 5 races.
Yeah.
But then it became apparent that, we weren't going to just have these other 4 guys or 5 guys lay over and let us win the chase. So we had to get a little creative on being able to try to score more points than the next. We walked into the chase with Brad's 3 wins, I believe, last year. 3 wins? Yeah. Mm-hmm. With no bonus points, just making it in the wild card. So at that point in time, you're behind already, and you have to get creative to try to be very aggressive on getting points. And it's one of those feast or famine things. It's either going to work really, really well or it's not going to work well. We were running fairly decent, had an anomaly happen at Dover, lost the power steering belt. And from that point on, you have to be really aggressive on trying to score points. And you're going to be a Hail Mary and score a touchdown, or you're going to not do so well. And that kind of happened to us last year. So we go into this year thinking that, again, we have you got to be in it to win it. And right now, we're square in the middle of the action. And, with 9 races to go, a lot can happen. So you kind of go with 5 or 6 races and see where you see it play out, and then keep moving forward. But we're excited for sure. With the 2 cars to go to these racetracks, we don't feel nervous. We're actually excited about where the team's progressed and what it has to show for 2012.
Well, good deal.
Yep.
Now you heard the Dinger. He got reinstated back to NASCAR, right?
It's very good. He completed his program. That's an excellent opportunity for him to reestablish himself somewhere in the racing industry. He's built a very good relationship with Mr. Penske, and once you get your accolades from Roger, I think it's a good sign for somebody to hire him. I don't know where or what opportunities are going to be there. But he obviously has shown that he's a competitor and capable of running, competitively with the guys, that are around him. So it'll be good. I'm glad to see the program works, and and another person has come through to it. There's a lot of people that have been through the recovery program. They just haven't been drivers, so they get less publicity about it.
Yeah.
But AJ's been in it, and he completed the program, and now he gets to go, get back on his feet and try to go, find a good job.
Now, there was some scuttlebutt a while back there that possibly him going out and doing IRL for Roger.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. You could say what you want, but Roger right now, they have three very solid teams.
Yeah.
It would only be conjecture on my behalf, and like I said, I don't have enough information to even think about the IRL side of it. If somebody over here wanted to hire him in the NASCAR side.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to put you on the spot, Joey. I don't know enough about the Indy racing or kart series, I guess, the Indy racing series that to talk about it educatedly. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and let you get off the line. I know you got plenty of things you got to do. Y'all got to get ready to get the plane all readied up and get ready.
And no, we're actually heading up to Loudon Friday morning. We'll have practice at noon. We'll qualify on Saturday and then race on Sunday up in Loudon. Looking forward to that.
Cool.
Yep.
Get some nice cool weather up there.
It is going to be cool. That the last 2 weekends we've had really good weather. Once we got past Richmond with the rain, Atlanta was fairly decent and Chicago was fairly decent. So the summer is definitely over, and now we're going to go up north. And that's one of the things with Loudon. We go there twice in a relatively short time. But it's usually hot on one race and very cold the next. So we look for the cooler weather for sure.
Well, if you want to, throw out the sponsors for the race team, and we'll kick you to the curb.
Appreciate it. Everybody, if they want to follow me on Twitter, I'm Two-Spotter. Pay attention to, we got Ryan Blaney over in the Discount Tire Dodge this weekend over in Kentucky. Ryan will also be in the Cooper Standard Ram truck. So he's running doubleheader over in Kentucky.
Oh, cool.
And then, of course, Brad Keselowski in the Miller Lite Dodge up in Loudon. So that's awesome.
Good deal.
Yep. Guys, appreciate you having me as always.
All right, Joey. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you at Martinsville.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, we have Greg Edwards on the line with us now. How you doing tonight, Greg?
Doing good, Roger. How are you?
I am sitting pretty. There'll probably be a few people that might disagree with the pretty part, but I don't care. So now you got a championship back at Langley Speedway again under your belt, from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean we won another one, and that's always great. It's an honor to win one at Langley. I mean, it's a tough track, and if anybody will come there and try to run, they'll tell you how tough it is, and you don't take these things lightly because it's something you want to try to build in your career. And then when I finally retired, I can say I did that. So it's a great thing, and I'm an honor to do that.
Yeah, I was doing a little talking with your brother Saturday night. It was when he was out there. I said we need to get the Edwardses back out here again on the top.
Yeah, and we ran well, and this year we've really had a fast car. We just didn't end up in victory lane as much as we wanted to. C definitely had a awesome race car all year, and I've lost championships not exactly the way he's lost it this year, but I've lost them when I thought I had the best car all year, and we just stayed consistent and kept our heads up, and we ended up winning the championship.
Yeah, I mean that's just like a lot of people talking about with Junior. Junior has been staying in the top 10 of most of the races, and that's what kept him into play in the Cup Series. Now, for those that haven't heard of you or about you, why don't you go ahead and do a little quick rundown of your racing bio, so some of the new people that are listening can learn something about you.
Well, I mean, I started off really young, and I was like 14 years old. We started racing go-karts out there at Langley. My older brother Danny was running like a street stock car, and we had raced motocross before that, and it got to be too much with the travel of him doing the Langley deal and me traveling all over the state to do the motocross stuff. So I started racing go-karts, and we won several championships there. And then I moved up into at the Langley and started racing the stock cars. And first started racing like a grand stock division, and we did pretty good there. And then we moved up to the late models, and since then it's been pretty good. We won over 100 feature events at that racetrack, and this will be our third championship. And at one time we Danny dabbled with the Busch Grand National at the time, and then ran several races for himself and for Ed Whitaker. And I started racing a little bit of ASA stuff. We tried to do that, and then just the finances didn't fall through like they needed to. But we ran good in ASA. But we've just really enjoyed running at Langley. We've run pretty much all over the North Carolina and Virginia area, the late model stock cars, and ran well and won a lot of races. And I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at. I'm driving for James Long, a great team owner, and a little bit for Randy Sears, like we did at Richmond, and I'm just enjoying it.
How's James been doing? I haven't had a chance to talk to him as much as I used to, like last year after he lost his wife. Is he doing a lot better now?
Well, unfortunately, Monday afternoon he had a bad accident on his tractor, and he had to be medevaced from his house. He was in critical condition. He's still in critical condition. He's getting better, but he definitely had a bad accident Monday, and so all of our prayers have been going out to him. He's recovering. He was pushing a tree over, and I guess the tree limb came back and pinned him in his tractor. And he's kind of needs everybody's prayers right now, because you just never know how quick something can happen like that. But it looks like he's recovering pretty well. He's conscious now. He's just in a lot of pain, and trying to get him through that.
It bothers me when I pick out somebody to talk about and something has happened to him. It's scary. But if you see him, I'm sure you do, make sure you give him all our best wishes and tell him our prayers will be for him too.
I will. And like I said, he's got a little bit of recovery to come from, but he's a tough old guy, man. And I feel like if anybody can make it through it, he will.
I'm glad you said that, because I'm not close enough to tell that, but I do know that.
Yeah, anybody that's met him will know that.
Oh goodness! So what are you guys looking at? You've got your championship. You don't have any more races here at Langley. I think I don't remember if South Boston is still open or not. Are you guys going anywhere else to do any more racing, or are you basically done for the year?
No, I mean, the plan was to go to Martinsville. Now,
oh yeah, can't forget that one.
And I talked about that, but we're still gearing up to go there. I mean, I dropped the motor off at Charlie's today because they tore a motor down after Saturday night, and we're going to rebuild that, and we're in the process of getting ready for Martinsville. We just got to see what goes on with James as far as with the 97 car.
Yeah.
The 34 car that Randy Sears owns, we'll definitely be driving that at Myrtle Beach. And then again, we're going to drive that at the Daytona race in February. So, and then possibly at Kenley, we're going to drive the 34 car in the Thanksgiving race. So we still got a lot going on. And this time of year I really like is the big races. I'm hoping we can, that James is going to be well enough and we're going to be able to do the Martinsville race. So I think we got a really good piece for that race.
Yeah.
We're just going to see how his recovery goes.
Good deal. Now, what about Danny? Is he going to try to do the same stuff as far as like Martinsville, or is he going to kick back and relax?
I'm not absolutely sure about that. I mean, me and him really haven't talked about that, so I'm not positive on if Danny's going to run Martinsville or not.
Well, you've been really terrible brothers here lately.
I mean, it's like I said, we just hadn't communicated on if he's definitely going. And, the race season just got over with Saturday, so I'm not positive.
So, do you have any plans working for yourself in the future, Greg? As far away from late model and possibly getting back up into the other traveling series?
Nothing definite. I mean, there's some talks going on. I mean, I wouldn't mind being in a K&N car or something like that. And there's some possibilities there, but No, mainly I'm having a good time with the late models right now. The age I am and what I'm doing, I mean, I feel like for, a team owner, I can win races. I can do very well as a driver for a team owner. And I think me and Randy Sears, you're going to see a lot more with that. Randy Sears is a great car owner. He's got great equipment. I mean, we showed that the race we ran at Richmond. And I think we'll probably be working with him for 7 or 8 races next year. And with James Long, we'll definitely be racing for him. So, we're just going to have fun. We'll just go out and win races. And I really like the late model stock cars. I mean, even the Cup guys at Richmond, I mean, they were having more fun on these late models. I almost feel like than they were having in their Cup cars because they're just so fun to drive.
I heard that may even change next year where that's going to be at.
Well, I kind of hope not. I think Richmond International was a great track. It was kind of big for the late model guys and kind of small for the Cup guys, but it kind of met us both in the middle.
Yeah.
Put us on a great stage, and you can't race at a place any better than Richmond. I mean, you can race 3 wide around there. You race hard. It was just an enjoyable track to race at.
I honestly would love to see it come to Langley because, you guys would definitely have the edge. And you're definitely going to have people that are going to have to really race their abilities coming to a flat track when they're used to most of the bank tracks that NASCAR has for the Cup guys.
Well, possibly, and I would like to see it for the owners out at Langley and for Chuck Hall and all those guys. But, I mean, for me, I love racing on Richmond every chance I can get. I mean, that's just me personally. I mean, I can understand the deal that Chuck and Bill and them guys would have out of Langley Speedway. But I've got 1 million tracks around Langley, 1 million laps around Langley.
Yeah.
And I enjoy racing Richmond. I mean, that was just so fun with these late models. It was one of those deals. We went there for our test and weren't that great in the test. But when we were driving home in the truck, like I told the guys, that I don't care how bad we're. That's just fun. I mean, that is just so much fun around there because with these late models, you're wide open so much, and it's just we actually start drafting a little bit with our cars. It was just fun. I mean, so I hope it goes back to Richmond. But for Langley's sake, if they could get a deal like that, I'd be all behind it too.
Yeah, that would be something. A lot of the late model guys, that would give them the upper hand, so to speak. I would think.
I think it would give the local late model guys really an upper hand by far, because Langley's a tough place to walk in and run as hard as we do. I mean, it would be really tough for some outsiders to come in here and just roll in and run good at Langley. Not saying they couldn't do it, because they definitely can. The top guys can, these Cup guys can, but I don't know. I just, for some reason in me, I just really enjoyed Richmond.
When you were there, what was the biggest part you liked? Well, I mean, were there certain things you liked more than others?
I just love the track. I love that track is the perfect layout track for a short track. I mean, you can ask any driver that's ever been on it. It's whoever designed that track did a phenomenal job, because it's fast. It's fast like a speedway, but then it drives like a short track. And I don't know. For me, I like the speed. I like sending the car down in the corner, really fast speed, and having plenty of banking to hold you. And it was just, gets to the point where it was just fun to drive around there.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing. I've always told anybody, when it comes to racing, you either got to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you need to get away from it.
Yeah, well, exactly. And like, as far as Langley, to me, I enjoy it. I mean, that is my home track. I've been there, my whole life. I can drive the place blindfolded, basically.
We almost did that one night.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I had so much mud on my windshield one night I couldn't see how to get around there. But I don't know. I thought Richmond was something different, and but it was something exciting, and it put us on a bigger stage. I felt like, and I felt like it was a perfect mix with the Cup guys, and the Cup guys already being there, and for the late model guys to come in, Tony Stewart's really good there. You know, Denny Hamlin's really good there. And I feel like, you know, it fit my driving style really well. And I so much enjoyed it. And I feel like there's a lot more I need to learn at that racetrack. I was learning every lap when I started following Tony. And I just had a great time. And like I said, that was one of the better parts of my season.
Yeah, I seem to remember a young lady that was on top of the toolbox winding up on national TV as they were watching her watching you and Tony going round and around out there.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, that's Ashley, that's my girlfriend. She's Tony Stewart's her hero, so she loves Tony, but that night she was rooting for me pretty hard.
Oh, God. Yeah, she is a sweet girl. So what else? You guys got some new sponsors you're thinking on next year, or staying with what you already got now?
The sponsor we have, like at Langley right now, is 97.3 The Eagle. It's a local country radio station. That's probably the biggest local, radio station in our area. And Max Media, and those guys have been great with Danny's Glass and CBX Modular Homes, Browers Mechanical. They've been great there. And then Randy Sears with Sears Sand and Gravel. We're working on some pretty big deals, but I can't really discuss them right now. But
yeah, I was going to ask you, what's the possibility of getting you out there at the Rock when they do the UARA race?
Well, see, Randy's got Corey LaJoy driving his car there. They've won the last 2 races with his car. And that's a sister car to the car I've been driving. And I think he's pretty happy with Corey right now doing that. I mean, I wouldn't mind going there and put a second car in it, but Randy hasn't said anything to me about that. But,
Randy, if you're listening, get that boy out there.
And Corey's been doing a phenomenal job. I mean, that is a kid you really need to pay attention to.
Oh, yeah.
I really believe Corey LaJoy is going to be the next big thing. He's a good kid, and he's fast everywhere he goes, and he's doing it with a smaller budget than a lot of these teams do. And, I really would say look out for Corey LaJoy. He's a great kid.
Yeah, we've had. I think we had him on here after the K&N race. I think wasn't he at the K&N race?
Yeah.
At Langley.
Well, he won the Langley K&N race.
Yeah. We had him on the show right after that, and because I've talked to his dad a few times too. But yeah, we ran into him also at the UARA race at the inaugural truck race they had at the Rock too. So believe it or not, even though I don't get to get around, I get around.
There you go.
But anywho, well, let me let you get going. I'm sure you got a lot of other things you got rolling on in the background there.
All right, man. Well, like I said, I appreciate you having me on. And
go ahead and run through your sponsors and thank them all.
I got to thank everybody again from 97.3 The Eagle. They've just been, they sponsored me for my last championship and, my first championship. Now they sponsor me for this one. So it's been great. And these guys are back on board. They've seen how much they can get out of this. And I think they're sold on it.
Good deal.
And I'm looking for them to be back with me next year. Danny's Glass has been there, and they're my family company, and they've helped out a lot. CBX Modular Homes, they're great. They've helped us out a bunch. And just my crew who just worked so hard. I mean, this year has been disappointing a lot of times when we've had the fastest car and didn't end up in victory lane for one reason or other. But we just kept digging, didn't give up, and we ended up with the championship.
There you go. All right, Greg. Well, it was nice to have you back on. Hopefully next time we get you back inside and have you sit down and enjoy supper with us later.
All right, buddy. Thank you, Roger.
All right, talk to you later. Cool beans.
Mm-hmm.
Greg's a good guy. Both him and Danny both are.
Oh yeah.
They're I when I was racing, and they were racing when I was racing too. So many neat little stories I have that I will carry to my grave. But you've heard a few of them, I'm sure. If you hadn't, I ain't been doing my job. But so now we got the dinger back out. What do you think? What's going to happen with the dinger?
I'm sure somebody will pick him up. And, he should be able to bounce back from this.
Yeah, I mean, he went through the program. I was surprised how quickly it went too. Yeah. I mean, it's like just felt like almost a couple of months ago he was getting hounded and everything, or hammered with everything. And now he's cleared, ready to roll. He might pick up some starting parks, or who knows, maybe get some nationwide or truck racing, because he's still got a good name out there.
Yeah.
And most everybody that knows him knows that what did happen, and it was 1,000th of a gram over, and it was over-the-counter medicine, which sucks. So, but I mean, granted, they've told him, said, hey, check and see how much that stuff can affect each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know Joe Scarborough was running late models last weekend?
Oh yeah, I was there watching. He had an issue with some stagger in the back end. He put the tires on, went out to practice, everything was fine. Came back in after the first race and realized they had like 3 inches of stagger in the back end.
Ugh.
Yeah, might have to flip some tires around.
Yeah. Now you heard about what they're going to do in the Cup races, where they've changed, where they're limiting the cars at how much they can crab now.
Oh yeah, well they've been on that ever since they went extreme with it out there and they were hanging out.
Well, now they're bringing it all back in line.
Yeah.
So now the drivers will have a more even.
Okay.
Theoretically,
Yeah.
more even race cars between all the different teams. But you know how that can be.
Hey, you bring it back, you go find the next new thing.
Yep. Be working on another drawing board for something else. Well, maybe if we push this into just a little bit more, cause a little more side force that way. I have never noticed in the rules yet about the spoiler. I know that it's got height, width, degrees of angle.
Yeah.
Is it? I've never seen anything
It
with
has
a
to be
crab
centered.
clause.
It has to be centered on the trunk lid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
I've tried.
no. But now, what about if the trunk lid gets fudged a little?
It's happened.
Ah. So.
You still got to fit templates.
Oh well, what can we say? How's our buddies at Godovic going? You talked to him lately?
Yeah, he was. Rick was out there Saturday, and he was running around checking all his people and everything. Didn't get to him much other than he was hanging drywall again, and I missed it, which means fishing at his place. So.
But now, did him or Brandon run Saturday? Because I was not around for hardly any of the late model races.
No, they weren't out there because they're getting ready for this last push for the last couple of races. Or
how's Brandon doing in the points?
Should be top 10. I haven't really looked that hard. I mean, it was just. That. Where was he last time I looked? I think it was. I want to say it was 9th at one time. Last time I looked at it.
Oh. Okay, and in points. East points. Standings. McDonald.
Hopefully I was.
He is in 7th place.
Okay.
10 starts, 3 top 5, 7 top 10s, 337 points. He's only 2 points behind Brian Ortiz and another point behind Eddie McDonald.
If I remember right, this next track's coming up is one of his better tracks, so hopefully this will be good for him.
And they are going to oops. 22nd, which is New Hampshire. Oh, they're going to be up there at New Hampshire with the Cup guys. G Oil 100 short race.
In Dover.
In Dover, and then Greenville Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what, Corley Joy's been winning quite a few of those suckers lately.
Mm-hmm.
Probably first in points, I'd bet. What do you think? Huh, no. He's actually fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon's 30 points behind him.
Yeah.
So, Corey has to really screw up. 3 wins, 6 top 5s, 6 top 10s. Probably 4 DNFs. But Chase Elliott's running pretty good in there. Brett Moffitt is up on the top. Kyle Larson is second. Kyle Larson is one of those guys that likes to race anything he can. He's like Kenny Schrader, Tony Stewart, Casey Kane, running around everywhere. When I was out at Knoxville Nationals with Terry, he was out there running out there out there as well. He won one night, and the A main one night, and then on the second time through, he didn't do so hot. But it happens. What else is going on in the racing world you heard about?
Not much that I've heard of lately.
Well, what do you think about the change with Dale Jr. on the crew chief change?
They're still trying. I mean, it's working. I mean, I think they're getting better. I just don't know if that's another thing to stir it up just to see if this is going in the right direction or if we're going to stall out again.
Well, Brian Vickers, he's going to be back in the number 55. He's going to have some new sponsors on the car, so he'll be back out there. Let's see. Then Ryan Newman, he's having another sponsor return, Aspen Dental. And Blaney is going to practice and qualify the number 22. And the 36 is going to be driven by Rains. Let's see. And that's because Sam Hornish is trying to win the nationwide series. Let's see. Ooh. Hendricks, big meeting. Tony Stewart and Addington were sitting in there with it. And we're going to have Bush Beans and Hannaford to be on the 47 car, Bobby Labonte at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Everybody. Jeez. Anywho. What else is kicking here? Robert didn't race last weekend.
Yeah.
He had Jamie Dick in there running. Let's see. There's 47 teams going for New Hampshire. Now, Robbie Gordon, he's been working at trying to get this Stadium Super Trucks series going. NBC, they've reached an agreement, and they're going to televise it on NBC and the Sports Network starting in April. It's supposed to be 12 races, 11 domestic, and 1 of them to be international. Okay, 47 drivers. They're the ones that are not top 35: Jeff Green, Scott Riggs, Josh Wise, David Strimmy, Stephen Light, J.J. Yaley, Jason Leffler, Kelly Byers, Joe Nemechek, Reed Sorensen, Scott Speed, and Michael McDowell. In case the qualifying is canceled, The 8 that would make it would be the 33, the 30, the 26, 98, 87, 23, 49, and 19. Oh, good. Scott Riggs would make it. Missing the race would be the 37, the 95, the 91, and the 79. Of course, I failed to give you the numbers with the names, so go to jski.com. Let's see, Tony Stewart, he's trying to help out BOA launch a military appreciation platform. That's to support the active members of the military, the veterans, and their families. Bank of America will use the Bank of America 500 to help raise $250,000 for the Wounded Warrior Project.
Cool.
It's to express their thanks. They have an Express Your Thanks program.
Mm-hmm.
And fans will be invited to sign flags with messages of support for service members and veterans during race weekend. The flags will be converted into a patriotic mosaic that will be displayed during the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race at Charlotte on the night of Saturday, October 13th. For each flag signed, the bank will donate $1 to the project. And Tony will be on hand Tuesday, September 18th. Oops, that was yesterday. To officially launch the flag mosaic. What can I say? Day old news. Let's see. Stenhouse Jr. is supposed to attempt the Dover race when it comes around.
That'd be nice.
Yep. So you going to go try to hit any of the races that are coming up?
If I could, if I can.
I'm gonna try to tackle the Martinsville race again.
Yeah, work lets me.
Well, that's a Saturday Sunday thing.
Yeah.
So you're off Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know about Sunday though.
Is that on your home time, or why would work have you on Sunday?
Other work.
Other work. Oh, goodness.
I'm back helping out the kart club and stuff again.
Oh. So, what else we got out there? We're running short on things to say here. It's not looking good. Part of it's my fault. I spaced these guys too close together. I was going to give them 30 minutes apiece, and instead wound up with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, what can we say? That's what happens when they wait till you get to the last minute before anybody says, oh, yeah, by the way. I mean, I could go through and show you all the texts of people. Let's see, who was it? I was trying to get Scott Riggs on here. I talked to him. Who else we had? Classes over there, not too good over there. Trying to get Johanna Long back on.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Scarborough, he's up in who's telling me he's up in Michigan.
Yeah.
The GM Proving Ground.
Yeah.
I said, send me some pictures of the cars. Nope, can't do.
Yeah, I love how he ends up with stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he said when you leave the track,
yeah,
security checks your cameras.
Yeah.
Make sure you ain't got no pictures. I said, all you got to do is have a removable SD drive. Timothy Peters, he was going to try to, but he couldn't free up. And Cameron Patrick. He was going to be here, and then all of a sudden he remembered the last minute. Oh, shit. Wife's birthday today. I better do something.
Yeah, you don't, yeah.
You want to be able to get back in the house, theoretically. I finally gave Verizon enough grief about all the stuff that they were charging me. And they finally said, oh, by the way, we have this new other plan. And they were looking through my history. It says, you don't use your data that much. You do your text a lot. So he said, tell you what. So they put me on an anything something plan or whatever it was. But now I can use this as a hotspot. And it doesn't cost anything.
Mm-hmm.
Which was great because I was trying to figure out how to do that when we were going to Richmond. We had a laptop with us trying to do stuff on it. And we had downloaded this other software to make it a hotspot, but that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about some of our sponsors. PC Doctors. We never get a chance to talk about the stuff we have back here.
Yeah.
So, get your computers cleaned down at PC Doctors. The auction hotspot. Did we just shoot you or what? I mean,
Do
put you in
something.
misery?
Yeah.
But anyway, the auctionhotspot.com. We've built a new auction site. Looks like eBay because people won't feel comfortable unless it looks like eBay. You go sign in, do a standard auction. Doesn't cost you anything to sell. Only thing you got are your selling fees, and they're still cheaper than what eBay charges. I've had friends of mine that have been talking to me. Hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Some of them were telling me they spend $3,000 a month with eBay.
Oh yeah.
Hey, send it our way. We'll at least help sponsor some drivers. But anyway, yeah, their fees would probably come down to at least half of that, of what they're spending. And slowly we're going to start getting those people on there. We've got a few NASCAR things on there. We'll have some memorabilia. We're also going to have computers on there, parts on there. People want to try to fix their own stuff, they'll be able to. And wake up.
Yeah. Sorry,
Hey.
told you I had a long day.
Hit you with a couple of these lug nuts up here.
I've been there, done that.
Richmond nuts. Anybody need some Richmond nuts? We got Richmond nuts. We're going to be putting these on the site too.
I had a whole bag of Tony's from Watkins Glen.
No, I'm on there.
Yeah.
Sign up for it. But anyway, we'll make it a semi-short night. Hampton Incredible Tees for all your T-shirts. And get your race cars done up as well. Stanley Steamer, well, we lost them. They sold out the business to somebody else. But that's all right. They're good guys. And we're working at trying to get Ruby Tuesday back on board.
Mm-hmm.
We are Ruby Tuesday, Wednesday night again. But they're all good. What's anything else happening with you in the racing world? Spectating still?
I'm
Or you-
back to working with the Hampton Roads Kart Club. Finish the season out and see what happens next year.
You going with Godovic anywhere for their stuff, or?
I would love to, but being that they usually end up leaving like midweek or whatever.
Work won't let you.
Yeah. Another thing about having to pay bills, you know.
Oh.
Unless I go work for Rick.
How would that go?
Right now, I don't know.
Oh, jeez. Well, I reckon we might as well wrap it up a couple of minutes early. Haven't done that in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I can recollect.
Yeah. Well, at least you didn't have Al on.
Oh,
We'd still be here.
we could always call Al.
Yeah.
No.
Another 2 hours later.
Nah, we can control him.
Mm-hmm.
He had a good supper last week. I even offered him to eat steak, and he went for seafood. Go figure. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for watching Let's Talk Racing with us. We'll catch you guys back next Wednesday. Hopefully, I think we'll get Timothy back on here. And I'll leave the rest up as a surprise.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to bring the keyboard and mouse over to the thing, so I'll have to go zip around the corner. Hopefully don't trip over the cables this time. See ya!
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler Built Seats, Bell Helmets, Hooker Harness Seatbelts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, drive 42 car on the thing Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Timothy Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Let's Talk Racing is brought to you by PC Doctors, Computer Sales and Services. This doctor still makes house calls. And also Hampton Incredible Tees and Signs, both located at 1248 North King Street in Hampton, Virginia.